Back in 2017, when I was in my first year of high school, having just realised my queerness and discovering the community for the first time, the federal government ran a plebiscite asking the Australian people to vote yes or no on whether they believed queer people deserved the right to marry. The rights of queer Australians were up for public debate, with no one sparing their opinion, from politicians to family members. Shop fronts displayed vote yes stickers on their windows, while vote no posters plastered street crossings. I went to my first rally and relished in the feeling of being surrounded by rainbow flags and people yelling into megaphones to say that I mattered, that we all mattered. And while the support that I felt from the community at this time was comforting and I found joy in the moments where we felt powerful, the core fact of the situation remained. Our right to exist freely as ourselves was being boiled down to a simple yes or no checkbox in a mail envelope. For young people like me, we were completely powerless. We had to sit back and watch while our leaders, family members and communities talked in circles about our lives while too young to vote ourselves. And for many LGBTQIA plus teens having to hide their identities, it wasn't even safe to ask the adults in their lives to please vote yes. This is where my P4A charity this year, Minus18, comes in. So Minus18 is a charity which works to improve the lives of young queer people in Australia through advocacy and inclusion in schools, workplaces and community events, and ultimately make young queer people feel safe, seen and accepted. They achieve this in multiple ways, such as through their school talks and workshops with both students and teachers to educate them on the experiences of LGBTQIA plus kids, which allows an entry point to ask questions and become comfortable talking about queerness in a school setting, meaning queer students can feel more comfortable and understood and welcome in their classrooms. Through their professional trainings and workplaces are guided through effective ways of supporting queer and gender diverse people through methods such as sharing personal stories, understanding different identities and how to respect clients and customers through inclusive language and workplace practices. Minus18 also holds youth events like the Youth Mardi Gras Party, the Queer Prom and Pride Marches, which are spaces where young people are really given the space to be themselves and have fun and feel safe in amongst a group of other queer people and meet new people in their community, whether that's online or in person. They also have events like Crafternoons and virtual hangouts, which gives them the opportunity to spend time in a chill space with people like them. For so many queer Australian teens, this could be the only time they can really let their walls down and really feel comfortable in a group of people their own age in a non-threatening, warm and inclusive environment. Without the work Minus18 does, these opportunities wouldn't exist, and many more queer teens would go through high school feeling alone and never knowing anyone else like them. So the presence of Minus18 in the queer community is really vital, and I believe that every queer young person in Australia deserves to grow up knowing there is an organisation out there that really understands and can support them, which is something that Minus18 can only do through donations and support. Currently, the rights of LGBTQIA plus young people are again being put up for debate, with the coalition attempting to push through the religious discrimination bill, which in its current form would allow queer and especially gender diverse kids to be discriminated against and even expelled from school based on the idea of religious freedom. So at times like these, organisations like Minus18 are critically important as a resource for queer young people to find support when their very right to exist among their peers could be taken away from them, and they may not have any other access to other support systems in their lives. The morning of the plebiscite announcement, I woke up feeling sick to my stomach. It was about more to me than whether or not I'd be able to marry the person I love. It was a judgment on whether my country accepted me or even cared about my existence. I found out the verdict in home group, frantically refreshing the news websites. 61.6% yes, 38.4% no. It remains one of the biggest moments of relief I've ever felt. But with the rights of queer kids still a topic of contentious debate, people are still waking up feeling sick, wondering what could be taken away from them and how they will be treated by the people who should be protecting them. Issues like the plebiscite and the religious discrimination bill should not even be up for parliamentary debate, but while they are, it is necessary that organisations like Minus18 have the means to be an even bigger presence in the lives of queer young people to help them through and ensure they have a loving community around them. It can make them feel powerful and provide agency at times when it is otherwise being taken away from them. So I really hope you vote for Minus18 to get a cut of the donations from this year's P4A, and please go and watch some other videos on LGBTQIA+ charities, because there are so many great ones out there, Australian or otherwise, and have a really happy P4A, DFTVA.